So this is the tomato bed that I think I showed you about 10 days ago when I had just planted them and heavily mulched them with comfrey. And this is the pumpkin bed which I had just mulched the same day with alfalfa. So today's, I think, November the 10th, and we've just done our first tie-up, delateral and tie-up of the tomatoes, and they're looking really amazing. And I don't know if I can show you, but underneath this thick layer of comfrey, it's starting to rot down now, and it's rotting down nicely, and the roots of the tomatoes are actually just starting to come up into it and feed off it. So it's going to be really important to get another layer on there as soon as I can. So I'm probably going to put a layer of alfalfa on there next, because the alfalfa tends to hold together and last longer than the comfrey, and then I'll put comfrey again on top of that. So this is the time of the year for delateraling tomatoes now, keeping the nutrition up to them, and the pumpkins won't need anything else now. The bed's been well looked after, the drip irrigation's on, the mulch is on. I'm just going to leave those now. Yeah, and I'm turning my attention to putting in some seeds to fill the gaps in. Okay, so it's time to take a bit of a breath in the garden now. We've got the beds all planted, and as soon as I kind of get most of the main crop things in, I start to think, what have I missed? Because I always get carried away in spring with the pumpkins and the tomatoes and the peppers and eggplants and, you know, the big crops. But actually, now's the time to be putting leeks in if we want to have leeks ready to eat when the season starts to get cooler in the autumn. It's time to put more lettuces in, it's time to put celery in, it's time to put parsley in. We could be putting more silver beet in now. Those people in cool season climates could be putting cabbages in and things like that. So there's tampalas are really important, and magenta spreen, really important summer green crops. So yeah, go back and have a good look and see what you've missed and what you need to fit in the gaps and around the edges. And then I just wanted to show you, here I've planted my last bed, which is my peppers and eggplants and basil, and it's still a little bit cool at night, and I was a bit worried about the winds we're having, so I've covered them with a row crop cover, and I'm going to leave that over them permanently for I don't know, as long as it feels appropriate. It just gives them a bit of shelter from the hot sun, and they don't get so cold at night, and protection from the wind as well. And you can still water through that cloth, it's amazing.